I wanted to touch on U.S. tourism right now. I don't know if you've seen the video out there, but there is a video of an interview with J.D. Vance where he's talking about how excited they are for the World Cup and how they're inviting all the world to come to the World Cup and enjoy. But then he follows up by saying, "But when it's over, you better leave our country or we'll deport you." Is this how the Trump administration encourages people to come visit their country? Tourism right now in the United States is suffering. They've had, since the beginning of the year, since the Trump administration took over, a $90 billion loss from people from not just Canada, but around the world refusing to come to the United States. That is a significant amount of money. And I don't think they understand what they're doing, like how terrified people are, because we see the videos, okay? We're not dumb. We see the videos of people being grabbed up by ICE, thrown in unmarked vans, and they're not wearing identifying clothing. They're not telling people what's going on. Like, it is terrifying to watch, and yet they think they can encourage Canadians to come, or anybody really, to come to the United States for tourism by, "Oh yeah, come, but if you don't leave, we're going to throw you in El Salvadorian prison." Gavin Newsom spent money on a campaign trying to encourage Canadians to come to the United States. The governor of Illinois, JB something or other, he did a campaign trying to encourage Canadians to come to the United States. Apparently, there is a new bill being introduced to the U.S. government called the Canadian Snowbirds Act, where they're trying to make it so that Canadian snowbirds can stay double the amount of time that they're usually legally allowed to stay before they have to go back to their own country. None of this is dealing with the actual problem, okay? Campaigns encouraging to come to the safe state of California or Illinois doesn't fix the border problem. That's what we're afraid of. We're afraid we're going to come across the border, going to go through our phone, see something anti-Trump, and we'll be shipped off to Guantanamo Bay. Offering for us to be able to stay double the amount of time in the United States is not fixing the border problem, okay? And it doesn't even really act as an encouragement unless you're really rich and you own property down there. I mean, Canadians have to actually leave, go back to Canada, because if we spend too long outside of our country, then we start having problems with our healthcare and our taxes, right? So that's not solving the issue of why we don't want to go down there. We are scared. And I know that there's still people that are going across the border, and power to you, whatever. I'm not telling somebody else to go and do what they want to do. But for those of us that are boycotting and refuse, it started off as a boycott. Now it's just pure, like, we're fucking scared. So honestly, governors, congressmen, whoever is behind all of these campaigns and this act, you're not understanding why we're not coming. It has nothing to do whether your state is inviting for us or whether you're giving us more time in your country. It is because of your current border situation. I and so many other Canadians are afraid that if we cross that border, we are never coming home. That our family, we will just disappear and our families will never know what happened to us. So until you get your fucking screwed up U.S. government under control so that they stop kidnapping people off the streets or grabbing them when they come off planes or when they come across border crossings, we are not coming to your country. Okay? We are not. It's fucking fucked up down there. All right? And it's not even safe for the people that are in your country living there. There was a story about a woman who got pulled over on a Georgia highway. She was living down there working on, I think she had just graduated. She got pulled over, gave her Ontario license to somebody, and got told it wasn't valid. And when asked for more ID, she showed her electronic documents on her phone, copies of her passport and so on. That wasn't enough. She ends up getting thrown in jail with charges, speeding and not having a valid license. And now the woman is worried that if she ever left the country and tried to come back across the border, she'd be tossed in jail. She'd be thrown in Guantanamo Bay or sent off to an El Salvadorian prison. This is the stuff that Canadians don't want to have to worry about. Yes, we have snowbirds that come down the US. Do you think they want to worry about their Ontario license not being valid and that could end up sending them to jail? Because that Snowbirds Act is not going to make a difference in the least bit. So get your shit sorted, and then maybe one day when we trust you again, the bulk of us that are staying away will come back. But till then, save your money. Don't bother passing any snowbird acts to give us more access to your or longer time in your country, because we're not fucking coming.